interesting story for you today. Hey, remember a few weeks ago when I told you about a bus shelter in Hamilton that was paid for by the Christian Heritage Party? Let me show it to you. It's so simple. It's a picture of a man about to walk into a room that says ladies' showers, and it says, "Where is the justice? Competing human rights." And then you can see the contact information for the Christian Heritage Party and their motto here, bringing respect for life and justice to Canadian politics. So vague. Frankly, a pretty weak ad in my view. But the subject, I think, is clear to those who are tuned in. New law is saying that anyone who simply identifies as a female, whether or not they've had the transgender operation to cut off their wedding tackle, can walk right into a women's change room. Well, that ad was approved by the billboard company called Outfront Outdoor. We've had some experience with them. But then some activists in Hamilton said, whoa, we don't allow free speech in our city, and they commanded Outfront Outdoor to take that down from city bus shelters. Joining us now from Ottawa is a lawyer suing to have that censorship overturned. His name is Alberto Polizagopoulos, and he's a lawyer for the Christian Heritage Party. Great to see you again, Alberto.
Likewise, thanks for having me.
Now, I have just recapped the facts. Did I get anything wrong? Did I essentially lay out the facts correctly?
I think you did. The facts are short and simple. The 3 ads were paid for and posted, and within a day or two, they were taken down by the city with no explanation.
So these ads were vetted by Outfront Outdoor, and we've had dealings with them. Just to remind our viewers, they were the company that ran the first 2 billboards for us in Montreal until Denis Coderre leaned on them, and then they said they refused to run any more billboards. So let me ask you, Alberto, obviously since they put these billboards up, they obviously reviewed them, they obviously approved them, they obviously went ahead and did it, your client obviously paid for them. Everything was by the book until some politicians got involved.
That's right. It appears, we don't know exactly what happened, but it appears that somebody filed a complaint or voiced a complaint that wheels in motion, which resulted in the ads being taken down by the city, not by Outfront, but by the city. Within a day, before client was given the opportunity to respond or explain or anything like that. So the signs have not been returned, they have not been refunded, and I had to write the city to get an explanation.
Isn't that incredible? So the money, so they took your money, but they didn't give you the ads. The city itself took them down, even though they've contracted this matter to Outfront Outdoor. So I don't even know if the city had the right to do so, if they contracted it out to Outfront Outdoor. And let me check one more thing, because I think I got it, but I want to make sure I do. Was your client told in any way, shape, or form that a complaint was filed? Was there any opportunity to address the complaint, or did this whole thing just come as an ambush and a surprise?
Well, my understanding is that the contact person for the Christian Heritage Party, which placed the ad, was contacted by media and advised that they had been directed by the city of Hamilton to take down the ads. At which point, my client said, give us a day to speak with the city, don't take them down just yet. But ultimately, they were taken down that afternoon.
So no contact from the city about this. You had to learn about it from the contractor, who was just saying, by the way, this is happening. So there was no hearing, there was no back and forth, there was no chance for Christian Heritage Party to make any arguments whatsoever. This reminds me of what happened actually in Nanaimo. A couple of years ago, some more viewers will recall, when there was a contract with the convention center in Nanaimo for a Christian-themed convention. Some city councilor didn't like that, condemned the Christians as, quote, terrorists. They actually said that, and ripped up the contract, no notice to the convention. This reminds me of a lot of things, Alberto, and it doesn't surprise me that it was the Christian Heritage Party that took the hit, because it's open seasons on Christian free speech. Tell me about the lawsuit you filed. I've just received from your office a copy of the document. It's a pretty clear case. I don't even think you need to be a lawyer to understand it. We're going to post it on the website for our viewers to see. Can you sum up your main argument that you've submitted to the court and what you're asking the court to do?
Sure. Well, our argument is very simple. There's been a case almost directly on point before the Supreme Court in the last 12 years or so. Excuse me. The long and short of it is this. The Charter of Rights and Freedoms binds the city of Hamilton. They're required to obey and adhere to the Charter. The Charter requires them to respect and protect freedom of expression. And we say that in taking down these ads, the city of Hamilton has violated the freedom of expression of the Christian Heritage Party, because the subject matter of the ad is a political issue. Right now in the city of Hamilton and across Canada and even North America, this issue of access to bathrooms for transgender people is a hot topic. It's a live issue. It's a political issue dealing with a matter of public policy. And so it is absolutely expected and appropriate for a political party to take out ads on that topic. And because it's a political issue and a political party, we say it's protected speech and ought not have been taken down.
That's a great point. I mean, it would be outrageous, and everyone would immediately get it, if, let's say, Justin Trudeau's Liberals were to take out an ad, and then a government of Hamilton would say, well, we don't really agree with Trudeau's ads, so we're going to ban the Liberal Party from taking out ads on public property. It would instantly be understandable, but because the Christian Heritage Party is Christian, they get away with it, of course. Yeah, I want to show that ad one more time, because what's so telling, put it back up on the screen if you would, thank you. It's so vague. In fact, it doesn't even say anything. It asks a question. Competing human rights, where is the justice? Competing human rights acknowledges that there are two sides to this issue. How do we figure it out? It's such a namby-pamby ad, but I guess you're not even allowed to have a gentle, vague discussion in the city of Hamilton. This is pure censorship, and I don't think it would happen to any group other than Christians. That's my view.
Well, I mean, I can't speculate as to who else it would happen to, but certainly it appears to be censorship. As you pointed out, it's a very benign ad. It raises a public policy matter. It invites people to examine the Christian Heritage Party, which has spoken out on this issue and presumably has policy proposals. So this is just a political party inviting people to visit their websites and look at what they're proposing on this political issue.
Yeah. You know, it's incredible to me. Just the idea that a government can say you can't even debate something, it shows a brittleness, a political correctness so shrill that anyone who even says, can we talk about it pretty please, and says, shut up, you're banned. It's tragic that this has infiltrated into Hamilton, which is really a working class city, a thoughtful city, a no BS, plain spoken city. The fact that that city has become the pointy edge of the social justice warriors' political correctness is shocking and disappointing. I suppose I shouldn't be shocked. Albertus, what's the next step in this lawsuit? You filed the application for a judicial review. Obviously, the city has to file their response. How many months or even years do you think this judicial process might take?
Well, judicial reviews generally go rather quickly, and by rather quickly, I mean about a year. So we likely will not, we certainly won't end up in court before 2017, but it could be early to mid 2017, and how quickly the court comes out with a decision is obviously out of our hands, but these processes usually take about a year.
Yeah.
That's if it ends here. Of course, on an issue like this, it may go further.
I have one last question. I think I know the answer in advance, but I got to ask anyway. Alberto, in this country, we have some groups that like to say they're for freedom of speech. We have something called the Canadian Civil Liberties Association. We have something called PEN Canada. We have something called Canadian Journalists for Freedom of Expression. There's all these liberal groups that claim to value our Charter of Rights, one of which is freedom of speech. Have any of these groups reached out to you or have indicated in any way, I mean, this has been public news that this was struck down, so it's not a secret. Have any of these self-styled liberal free speech groups offered help, even in the form of rhetorical help, let alone intervening in this case?
Well, I mean, we filed our pleadings last week, so it's still early. I know that some groups have reached out to the Christian Heritage Party directly, but none of the ones you mentioned.
How did I know that? Well, listen, Alberta, you keep fighting for freedom. Unfortunately, so many liberal free speech groups only support liberals in their free speech. They don't understand, as the ACLU does in the States. I disagree with the ACLU on many things, but I give them credit for this. They will stand up for free speech, even for conservatives they despise. Too bad we don't have that culture up here. Hey, do me a favor. Keep in touch with me on this one. And, you know, if you need some help, I mean, I don't want to be seen to be helping the Christian Heritage political party itself. I would certainly not donate to any political party, but that's not what the case is about. The case is about freedom of speech for all of us. Keep us posted, because sometimes our viewers like to fight in court for freedoms. We've done that with other public interest lawyers on the right. So keep us posted on this, and we can talk offline. If you guys need some help to keep up the fight, or maybe an intervener, maybe we can help you on that.
Great, thank you.
All right, Alberto, you keep it up. That's Alberto Polizagopoulos fighting against a censorship, a ban issued by the city of Hamilton against a billboard that was approved by the billboard company that some politicians just didn't like. It's incredible that that's the state of free speech in Canada in 2016. Stay with us. More ahead on The Rebel.